So we should be live. All right, welcome everybody. We are live, hopefully. Fantastic. See, I've got some eyeballs on here. So those that arrived early, I hope you enjoyed the downwind. That was the Carbonology S3, and we took it on a really, really windy downwind, and it was a lot of fun. You'll be a brave man to drive that thing because you end up going deep underwater. I recommend getting in the back. A lot of fun. So we've only got 60 minutes to get through this, so I don't want to muck around. We'll give a couple of minutes for guys to join in here, guys and girls to join us, but not very long. As I say, a lot to get through, and I really want to stick to the 60 minutes. There is nothing like a webinar that drags on and on and on and on and on, and we're not going to do that. We're going to get to the point. I'm not pitching. I'm not selling. This is genuine just value. I'm connecting with my tribe, my community, my friends, sharing some of my expertise. Hopefully it helps, and that's what this is all about. Give me a shout out in the comments if you can, and let me know that you're here, because unlike Zoom, I can't see you. So the only way I know you're joining me now is I've got a little counter on the screen here telling you how many people are watching. But hit me up in the comments there, and the comments will come through. Hopefully we have no IT issues. I'm using a new tool. Those of you that watch the Freedom Paddle show, we're using the same tools we used for that. So hopefully everything goes according to plan. I ask you to bear with me if it doesn't, but I have done some rehearsal, so we'll check that out. All right, so guys are logging in. That's fantastic. Okay. Brilliant. Starting to see the guys line up. Fantastic. Okay, so as I said, this is going to be a 60-minute webinar. Actually, I've got an egg timer in the back there. Oop, where we are going? Over here. That's a 60-minute egg timer. Keep an eye on that. We're going to let that run out, and hopefully by 60 minutes, probably earlier actually. I tend to talk quite fast, slow myself down, and we'll be in and out. This is going to be hugely powerful, guys. I think it's really going to give you some context, some positioning around this confusing marketing space, and really recommend that you stick it out and watch through until the end. All right, welcome everybody. Fantastic. All right, thanks Terence, thanks Jamie. Good to see you guys here. Rob Moody, Skipper Skuman. Great to have the support of my tribe, my friends. Thanks guys. All right, everyone's signing in. So let's move on. I am actually running a timer, and I'm already a minute behind, so we'll play some catch up. First of all, some housekeeping. As I mentioned, I personally think this is going to be really, really powerful. When I discovered this approach, and when I started to shape it into what works for me and works for my clients, it was incredibly powerful. I'm excited to share it with you guys. So for that reason, I really want you to focus. So please turn off your phones, shut down your WhatsApps. Don't shut down your Facebook, because you've got to watch it on Facebook. We're also going to YouTube Live, by the way, as well. So you can catch it there. If the Facebook's not working for you, head over to my channel, Rob Mobius, and you can catch us live there. Shut the door. Whatever's going on, it can wait. Your business is most important. And I do think this is going to be really, really powerful for your business. So unless some real emergency comes up, delay it until after 11. But focus, guys. I really want to offer some value, and I think this is really going to help you. So, hey, welcome, Graham. Welcome, Shandor. Nice to see the guys dialing in. Appreciate the support. Very, very lekker. And if you haven't done so already, up on the slide, you can see now, activate StreamYard. So StreamYard is the tool we're streaming with right now. From a Facebook perspective, if you want to comment, and by the way, I encourage questions. I will tackle them as we go through that. But if you want to comment on Facebook, it'll come up, but it'll come up as anonymous unless you go ahead and let StreamYard know who you are. So I think kind of, look, where am I going? Roughly over here above my head, there should be a link to give StreamYard permission, a little blue hyperlink there. Just right click on that, open in a new tab. And on that new page, there'll be a big blue button saying something along the lines of give StreamYard permission. If you haven't done that already, just click that once. Page will just reload to a thank you page. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else, nothing technical there. And then if you comment, I can know who you are. You can still comment without doing that. It would just be anonymous. So do that. And I see quite a few guys have done that already. I've got a couple of guys coming through just as Facebook user. So for those guys, please head over to StreamYard and give permission to get started. All right. Good. Fantastic, guys. So let's get started. We're back on time, by the way. Smack on. I want to start this webinar by talking about community. For those that have kind of had to suffer paddling with me of late, especially for the last year, I've been drumming on about this community. A paddler's a community, a paddler's economy, and it's really the driving force behind what I'm doing today and where I want to see things going with the paddling community. Last time I checked, I think we have over 15,000 paddlers registered on the CSA database. I think 8,000 of those are current. They've dropped off a little bit now with COVID, and a couple of signups didn't happen. But the point being is we've got 5, 6, 7, 8,000 active paddlers within our paddling community at the moment. It means 8,000 people we can reach out to. And that's a real sweet spot. If we compare it, for example, to say road running as a sport, road running is so big that it loses its community spirit, it loses its tribe, it kind of pulls back to club spirit. But with paddling, we're very, very lucky. We've got this tribe that's kind of the sweet spot. It's just big enough that almost any, and I really feel strongly about this, almost any service or product or anything we could need for our business, for our lives, for our homes, we can probably find and source that service within our community. 8,000 people is a lot of people for us to talk to. And I bet you it's all lying right in there. So the challenge now is to start to bring this community together, to knit it together so we have an ability and a way of reaching out to each other and supporting each other in the space. We're pretty unique as paddlers. I mean, who's been to Fish? Give me a heads up there in the comments. Just give me a thumbs up if you've been to Fish. For my money, the best race on the planet, whatever sport you're in. I've done mountain biking. I've done it all, and Fish is amazing. So hit me up a thumbs up there if you've been to Fish, because this for me is the most fantastic example of community. Picture the end of day one of Fish. You've come under that arch, you've given your beer, and now you've got to make that walk from the finish through the pound up to the car park. That walk would probably take you 5 minutes normally, but it takes you 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because you bump into so many people that you know. Everyone's got a shared experience. Everyone wants to tell a story about what happened on the river. You're meeting people from Joburg, from Durban, from Cape Town, from PE, and our community is so tight-knit. If you needed an example of how powerful our community is, Fish is a fantastic example, and we need to leverage that. And I mean that, leverage that in a good way. The Muslim community is fantastic at looking after one another. The Jewish community is fantastic at looking after one another. And I want to see the paddling community do the same thing. We're going through a really tough phase right now, economically speaking. But if we turn inwards and look at our community, the power is amazing. We have a shared work ethic. We have a shared experience. We have shared stories. And those are the things that are super powerful when it comes to linking together. Let me get more real about that. If you're a business owner here and you want to market into the paddling community and reach out to the paddling community, you can imagine how much easier it is. Your cost of advertising your service into the paddling community is next to nothing. We're all members of WhatsApp groups. Now, I'm not saying we spam our WhatsApp groups with advertising, no. But what I am saying is our connections are strong. And if I'm working with a fellow paddler, I don't need that fellow paddler to romance me and to go through all these phases of, are they the right person for the job for me? Because I know them or one of my friends knows them, it's a lot easier for me to select them to be my service provider, to be my architect, to be my plumber, to be my IT service, to be my marketing guy, to come and install electric gates at my house. It doesn't matter if we're in the community, because we have this transferred respect, this transferred credibility between one another. It becomes super easy and more affordable for us to talk to one another and grow this community and actually have an economy within our paddling community where money flows around within us and we support ourselves. Now, we need to build something to make this happen. So I have put together, and quite a few of you guys are on this already, and that is sasurfski.com. So what I've done on sasurfski.com is put together a completely free, on the house, no charge business directory. So please, the link is on the slide. Let me make that slide a little bit bigger. And I've also, on your emails, I've been linking to this, sasurfski.com. If you haven't done so already, go over there, register your business, no charge. And it's one portal where fellow paddlers can come to source what we're doing. Now, it doesn't stop there. We need to let people know that this resource exists. So as captains of industry within our tribe, within the community of paddlers, we need to be connecting. We need to be reaching out. We need to let people know to come and look at sasurfski.com. We need to go and look at sasurfski.com. Let me give you an incredible, powerful piece of business advice. Let me change that. Not business advice, how to get business. Go and talk to your fellow paddlers, find out what they do, find out what they need, what type of customers they need, and then do your level best to bring them that customer, connect and bring them that customer. What that's going to do is just natural human instinct is if someone does something nice for me, I feel indebted to do something nice back for them. So if someone brings me a customer that signs up, that's fantastic. I'm immediately on the lookout to return the favor, to bring a customer to the person who referred to me. And if we have this kind of give mentality, pay it forward mentality, we're going to start seeing our tribe, our community grow. And even outside our tribe, that's a really nice way to get business is if you want business from another company, bring them business. And very quickly you'll see them, return the favor. So that's a nice little tip that's pretty powerful. So that's enough about community. I've been drumming on about it, guys, but I really would like to see this community grow. Let's anchor it around sasurfski.com. Let's anchor it around in the car parks after a downwind, in the cars when we're driving to set up a downwind, when we're going to the races, when we're tripping on the rivers. Let's have these conversations and let's support one another. Guys, just I encourage you, if you're signing up, please hit that StreamYard link and give permission so I can see who's who, and hit me up with questions in the link there as we go. Be lovely to hear from you guys. All right, so we've got quite a few people watching. Fantastic. Welcome, guys. All right, let's dive in. We are slightly ahead of time. Let's keep moving forward. So I want to bribe you. I know that 60 minutes can seem like a long time. I'm probably going to see people start disappearing at around 25, 30 minutes. Now, I know I've got a face for radio. I know I've got a voice that's best suited to a mime. But despite those fantastic qualities, I want to bribe you to stick around. So I've got some bonuses that I'm going to offer to those that are still on the call at the end. Classic webinar trick here, forgive me. But I've got 3 things to offer you. For those that are interested, I'm going to offer you a personal review of where your business is right now from a marketing perspective and what you should be doing next in order to move yourself towards being more successful with marketing. So if you're interested in that, stick around. I'm going to be making that offer at the end, let you know how to do that. Second bribe I've got for you is my Get Shit Done training. Sorry for the French, but my GSD training is a tool that I developed a while ago to make sure that I'm every day doing tasks only that move the needle towards my ultimate goal for my business, that I'm not being distracted, that I'm not doing things that are actually not moving me towards where I want to be. So it's a really, really practical tool, incredibly powerful if you're working with a team, and very powerful if you're a bit distracted, if you're not quite sure, you're struggling with focus. And if you want to go through that training, but there's no selling here. This is all completely complimentary and free. This is a self-service setup with this training. Stick around to the end. I'll let you know how to get onto that. And then also for those that are interested, I will take you through and give you access to a funnel that I built for a client that generated them 100,000 rands worth of business in just a matter of days. In fact, we had to turn it off. They were overwhelmed. We put together a case study around that, step by step, how we did it. If you're curious about that, I'll also be unlocking access, so you can check that out later on. But you've got to stick around to get these, and I've actually got one extra bonus as well, which I'm going to keep quiet about, a little mystery bonus. Again, I'll be talking about that right at the end. So stick around for the value, but if that's not good enough, stick around for the bonuses. All right. So I work with companies every day. This is what I do. I work with small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, and the overwhelming theme that comes through every single time when I talk to folks is they're overwhelmed with the marketing landscape. It's never been easier to market your business. It's never been cheaper to market your business. You've got Facebook ads, Facebook pages, groups, Google ads, display networks, YouTube ads, SEO, LinkedIn, websites, blogging, business directories. The places and the opportunities and the channels to market your business are at the tip of your fingers, on your keyboard, easy to access. Net result, though, is it's really confusing and overwhelming. Where do you start? What do you do? What's going to work for you? What's going to give you the return on investment that you need? In these tough times, you've only got X amount of money to spend on marketing. You want to be sure that if you spend that money on marketing, it's going to come back to you 3 times, 5 times, 10 times what you spent on it. So it's very easy to get overwhelmed. It's very easy to get confused. It's very easy to make mistakes. So what I want to do today is provide you guys with a tool, a method that's going to lift that fog and let you know where you sit on this journey and where you should be focusing on what to do. It's kind of like doing a downwind. For the Durban guys that are on here, let's say you've launched at Umdloti and it's a northeaster and you're heading towards DUC. If you just focus and made decisions every day, basically directly on what's in front of you, what's directly in front of the ski, you're going to end up running to the right the whole time. Before you know it, you're going to be hitting the beach at Beechwood, at Virginia, at the river mouth, and suddenly life gets really difficult as you bog along the back line trying to get to DUC. But if you went in with a bigger plan, an overview plan of what needs to be done, that you need to be running left off every run in order to stay out to sea, you end up doing a better job. And that's my goal today, is to give you that overall plan that you can overlay on your business, that you can overlay on this confusing landscape of marketing, and it gives you that guiding light, that beacon to aim at, that's going to navigate you through these waters. So that's what I'm trying to get for you today. And I call that the Freedom Marketing Method, and we're going to unpack that. By the way, the picture I've got up on the slide there, that was a couple of years ago, the mouth-to-mouth, fantastic race, and the surf really jacked up on us. And that's Joe Boy and Louisa van Staden. I don't know if either of you guys are on the call, but yeah, major shore break coming through. And they look a little overwhelmed and confused to me there as to whether they should be taking that wave or not. All right. So my goals. I want you to be able to see the forest for the trees by the end of this call, to be able to understand the marketing landscape and have some method of navigating it. I want you to know where you fit in on that journey. Where are you now? And what should you be doing next? And then I want you to become a part of this paddling community. So I've already drummed on a bit about that. Head over to SA Surfski, make a listing, but go beyond that. Share the love. bring business to other paddlers, give them an opportunity to bring business to you. So these are my goals. These are my outcomes. Hopefully by the end of these, we'll have all this cleared up for you guys, and you know exactly where it is that you stand and what you should be doing next. That's my mission. Let's grow this paddler's economy, guys, and let's get started. Whoops, I'm hitting keyboards here. So the question I'm often asked when I go through this is this for me? You know, I'm just starting out. My business has just started. I don't need to market, or I'm just beginning, or my business is really mature. You know, is this for me? And I think the method I'm going to show you right now is a method that has a start, a middle, and an end. And it's all about where you are on that journey. You know, from a paddling perspective, are you stuck on the beach? Can you not get through the surf? And maybe you through the surf, you're out at the back line, you're starting to catch runs. Maybe you're at the end of the downwind and you're starting to get tired, and yeah, everyone's coming together. And now it's kind of, you know, who's got the best tactics coming through. We're all at a different place in our journey. And the great thing about the freedom marketing method is it lets you choose where you are and apply it to where you are. So it doesn't matter if you're at the top of your game. Is anybody more at the top of their game anywhere than this guy? I absolutely love this picture. What amazes me most about this picture is that leg drive. I mean, that knee is crazy. Yeah, if you're at the top of your game, this will work for you. If you're just starting out, it'll work for you as well. Yep, that's me. One of my very first river races ever, when I transitioned from surf ski to the bottom of Drill Weir. And funny story about that photograph is I think Cam Schoeman had, this is the Tugela 20s race. I think Cam Schoeman had been hired by the race to show people how to shoot this weir. And just before the start, I paddled over to him and was asking him questions. How do we shoot this thing? And he was showing me, and he said, don't worry, Rob, just follow me. And I was completely new, and gun went. We went over the weir, and right in front of me, Cam took a swim. And despite the rather nervous pose going on right there, I actually didn't swim. Definitely more ass than class. But I was definitely figuring things out at that point. But the point is, this applies to you no matter where you are in your business. If you're just starting out, whether you're completely up and running and marketing already and having some success, it does not matter. You're going to get some tremendous value out of this that we're talking about today. But now we titled this webinar, How to Market Your Business as You Were Training for a Race. So let's pull it back to that, and let's talk about paddling for a little bit. Let's talk about training for a race. Now, I just want to be clear, this is not a webinar on how to train for a race. I do not pretend at all to be an expert on that. I think, yes, I see we've got Linton Hope here, one of the most successful coaches we've got in South Africa at the moment. So those are the guys you want to talk to about how to prepare for a race. But go with me here on my logic. And I'm seeing three big blocks. When I'm getting ready for a race, I see three big blocks that we go through. So the first block for me is preparation. Now, what do I mean by preparation? I mean kind of the mental process I go through when I'm choosing a race to paddle for. So I'm going to look down the road and I'm going to identify a race that I want to do. So this is, for me now, that's PE2 East London. That's my next race. Hopefully it goes ahead. That's where my focus is. I've never done it before. I'm pretty scared of it, but you know, we've got to kick off and go. But I've chosen that race. Now, that's absolutely critical because every decision I make from here on out is going to be influenced by the type of race that I've chosen to go for. I need to define within that race what success will look like for me. So for me, I've never done distance like the PE2 East London demands. So I'm not interested in winning. I'm interested in finishing. So success for me at PE2 East London is getting to the finish line and not being in complete and utter agony, having hands that still work, having an arse I can still sit on at the end of that. That's my goal. But if you're focusing on Cape Point Challenge or SA Surf Ski or Freedom Paddle or Marathon Champs, you're going to have a very different set of goals that are going to come from that. So the success in your race all comes down from what race are you choosing and why are you choosing it. From there, you're going to use the race to determine who you're going to train with. So for PT East London, I'm going to team up with guys that are training for PT East London. I'm going to choose a coach who's got experience in PT East London type work. If it's marathon, I'm going to go and talk to Lee McGregor or Pete Cole and get guys with marathon experience. I'm going to choose my training buddies accordingly. I'm going to choose my gear. If I'm going down UMCO, I'm going to have a larger, fatter boat than I would if I'm doing sprints. So all these decisions on what gear to use, who to team up with, all come from what race am I going for? What's my goal? And what does my success look like within that goal? If I'm just going to be paddling with someone and blooding a new paddler in a double, I'm not going to try and win the race. So I shift my goals. It's going to shift my training. It's going to shift everything else. But it all is guided by this upfront decision that we're going from about the outcome that we want. So for me, that's what it is. That's the preparation, the mental game. Once I know that, then I'm poised now to move into what I call as the training block. I'm training for PT East London, so there's not going to be a lot of speed work in my training. If I'm training for sprints, I'm going to be focusing on strength and explosive power. If I'm training for freedom paddle, I'm probably going to be focusing on rhythm and technique and combination with my doubles partner. So the race we're targeting and the success we want from that race starts to determine how we train. So we have to get the preparation stuff squared away before we can actually start making decisions and acting on how to train. It makes sense. I've got some notes here, guys, that I'm checking out because I tend to wander around a little bit, and I've got some time going, and the good news is we are ahead of our time. Yes, we are. Fantastic. We're 10 minutes ahead. The interesting thing about training as well is we go through different stages when we're training. You know, we have our base phase. So that's when we're doing slow, big mileage. Then we move into another phase of training, which is possibly speed endurance. And towards the tail end of our training, we may start doing more speed work. Again, that's going to be related to the race that we're targeting and the result that we want out of it. But there is an evolution. We are progressing. We are not just going down and doing any old training. We are actually doing blocks with goals in mind, and we're judging our performance based on those goals. I'm not going to expect to do a really fast 10K time trial if I'm in my base phase. At the same time, if I'm not doing really well and I'm bonking on a 25K pedal, but I'm actually in a phase where I'm preparing for a sprint race, you know, it doesn't make sense. So we do need to adjudicate and judge ourselves by where we are in our journey of getting ready for a race. So once we're training and we're ready to go, the next phase is to race. We're sorted. We've done the training. We're ready to go. We've got our gear. We've got our focus. We know what result we want from this race. Now it's time to pull everything that we've practiced together, everything we did in the training, pull it together, and now it's time to deliver. So it's all about amplifying our strengths. So if your strength is tactics, it's about being aware of what's going on in the race course and positioning yourself so that you are able to take advantage of tactics. Watching Hank McGregor at the World Marathon Champs for a tactical masterclass on when to attack and how to get the most from that. Having your eyes open for opportunity. Is there a run, a wave coming, a group coming past, a diamond you can sit on, the wake of a boat, and being aware of those so you can take advantage, get ahead. It's about fine-tuning. It's about amplifying what works for you as an athlete. And it's about getting lean and mean and focused on making things work with the least amount of wastage possible so you can end up being fresh at the end and hopefully win that sprint finish onto the beach. So these are the big stages that I see when I'm putting a race together. Preparation. Thanks, Skepers. I'm just going to... Skip is sharing there. I'm also streaming to YouTube, guys, that you can jump over to YouTube to Rob Mobius, my channel, and pick it up there if you need it, if this is glitching at all. Thanks, Skippers, for the heads up on that. So let's shift over into marketing. How does marketing and training for a race parallel one another? Well, I actually see them running in the similar 3 big blocks. In my freedom marketing method, I also break down marketing into 3 big blocks. And the goal here is, where are you? Which block are you in right now? And that's going to determine what you should be doing now, what kind of results you should be looking for, and what you should be doing and what exactly you should be executing on right now. So the first block in training in preparing for a race is being prepared. In the freedom marketing method, for me, it's all about clarity. So let's pull this back away from paddling and talk about business right now. Question we don't ask ourselves as business owners is, why am I in business? What is it that I want as the business owner from this? And if your answer is to make money, that's just a mechanism to something else. What is it that you want from your business? Why did you start the business? Yes, it's to pay the bills. Yes, it's to put kids through school, but there's more to it than that. Your business is there to serve you and serve the lifestyle that you want. And if you're not clear about the lifestyle that you want and how you want to live your life, your business is going to control you. You're not going to control your business. So think about your business. Think about how your business is structured. Think about what your business gives you, and have a look and see, is your business actually geared to give you what you want? You're, as the business owner, you're the guy who goes home with the stress about paying rent, paying wages. You're right. Maybe you're having to retrench people, which is an expensive thing. You pay a lot of dues, and the upside is you get to shape your business to be what it is you want it to be. So don't let your business control you. Your payoff is being able to control a business that gives you the lifestyle that you want. Maybe not today, but certainly down the road. So get exactly clear on what you want from your business. Within clarity as well, I really want you to get clear on what your business does. But more importantly, let me come back to that. I'm jumping ahead. The most important thing is, who does your business serve? For me, this is the most important thing about business. When I talk to a new company, I don't want to know what they do. I want to know who they serve. What is the community that they serve? Who are they providing services to? What problem do they solve? People don't buy products. People buy solutions to their problems. Products just a mean to an end. So who do you serve and what problem do you solve? Think about those questions. Maybe write that down, ponder this. Who do you serve? What problem do they have? How do you solve that problem? That's getting crystal clear now about the clarity about why your business exists, who it's serving, what is it doing for them. Guys, just catching up with where I am with this. So if you know who you're serving, it suddenly gets really, really easy. You can imagine putting an advert together. And if you know exactly who, I mean, how many of you guys have put an advert together? Maybe you put something in the Claxton paper, the North Glen News, if you're in Durban, the Tableview Tatler. You've put an advert out there. You've had a meeting with the team and going, sure, we need more business. Let's do some advertising. Maybe you put a Facebook ad out there, whatever it is. And when you do that, you kind of face with this blank screen and you go, oh, let's put an ad out. Let's shape it for this. Let's go and just put it out there. You kind of make up the creative as you go and you throw the ad out there, and invariably you get no return. And one of the reasons is we don't really know who it is we're focusing on. How much easier would it be to put an ad together where you knew exactly who you were focusing on and what problem they solved? And you could actually speak directly to that community. You knew what language to speak. You can talk to them and say, I know your problem. Here is my solution. And that person feels like that solution's been made just for them. You can imagine the return on investment you're going to get from an advert that does that, when it's tailor-made. When I happened to see an advert about a dog bed, for those of you who've met Bear, my dog, and my dog bag happens to be looking tatty that morning, and boom, then an advert pops up. I'm far more likely to buy that ad, and you're far more likely to get a return on investment on that ad compared to just kind of putting something in the Tatler and expecting to get some results, because you're doing spray and pray marketing. You're putting it out there on a billboard and hoping it lands on some fertile ground, rather than being a deliberate farmer and sowing the seeds and watering it and getting the result that you want. It becomes less of a gamble and more of a sure thing. This is what clarity does for us. Once we've got clarity, we can then start to formulate our strategy. And this is where most of us, I think, make a mistake, is we just start to do. And there's no harm in just doing. If we pull it back to a paddling methodology, a paddling analogy, just going down to the river and doing a session day after day is going to get you results. You're going to get fitter, you're going to get faster. But if it's not geared towards an ultimate goal, how do you gauge your progress. Are you actually getting better? You know, what is it that you're after? You're not actually walking down a road. You're just kind of bumbling around trying to find something. But if you've got clarity about what your business does and who it does it for, suddenly you can have a strategy. And a strategy, just like training for an event, we can break it up into different goals. We need a phase where we can attract people to us. We need a phase where we can get those people to enjoy who we are and trust us and nurture them. And we need a phase where we start to get them to the point of wanting to buy from us. So we can break the strategy down into phases, but it's all driven by that clarity stage. Who are we targeting? What are we selling them? What problem do we have in mind? So I want to come back to that. Who are you serving? What problem do they have? And how do you solve that problem for them? That is going to serve your strategy. Now, I'm going to unpack this a little bit further. So if this is a little confusing at the moment, don't worry. We're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into it. But know that if you don't have clarity about your business, how are you going to put together a strategy that's going to get you the result that you want? Because without clarity, you don't know what result that you're after. So it's absolutely critical that we get that preparation phase, that clarity phase, absolutely sorted out. Once we have a strategy in place, we can start to evaluate that strategy and see what works best. And we can start to increase the quality of that strategy. What do I mean? Basically, a strategy, just like going down for a paddle, you're going to be doing certain interval sessions, long paddles, short paddles. You're going to be using different equipment. But what you're doing the whole time, and what's unique to us as paddlers, is we are analyzing and collecting information and fine-tuning. What paddle works for me? What feather angle is right? What does my gear look like? Is my base strong enough right now? Can I afford to move into the speed endurance section? We're constantly evaluating and coming up with a strategy that works for us. Now, we need to do the same in marketing and look at the strategy and see what works. And the quality phase is all about really getting ruthless about that and really pouring rocket fuel on those aspects that really, really work, and getting lean and mean and cutting down to the chase of those aspects that give us the best results. So we can put all our energy and all our efforts behind that one thing that gets the job done and not waste time. A lovely analogy in the quality section is if you're in a boat that is too unstable for you, you're spending so much energy and time staying upright that you're not going forward like you could be. Whereas if you're in a boat with good technique, and you can put all your effort and energy behind that catch and that initial 30 centimeters of the stroke, you're going to get the maximum reward for your effort. So that's what the quality phase is all about. It's about finding out what works in the strategy phase. And in the quality phase, we hone that. We fine-tune that to make it as powerful as possible so that for every rand we put into a marketing effort, we get 5 rand, 6 rand, 10 rand, 20, 30 rand back because we are completely focused. We know what works and we can line up all our energies behind that. Now, that doesn't come with hit and miss. That comes from having clarity. It comes from going out there and having a strategy and having your eyes open as to what's working and not working in your strategy, and then starting to amplify and to get lean and mean about what it is. This is the freedom marketing method, guys. I'm going to unpack this a little bit further, but I wanted to take a pause right now and check how everybody's doing. Hit me up with the thumbs up if you're hanging in there. Some questions. Let me know somebody's out there. I feel I'm only seeing myself on the screen right now, so I feel like I'm talking to myself. We'd love you to see some love in the comments. So throw me some stuff and let me know what's going on. If you got any questions, it'd be great to hear from you before we dive a little bit further. And if you guys are happy to dive a little bit deeper into each of these stages, I want to unpack them a bit for you and make them a little bit more real, a little bit more practical. So the questions you should be asking yourselves now is, what stage are you in? Are you clear? If you are clear, what strategies are you busy using? And we're going to talk about strategy in more detail now. If you've got a strategy that's going, are you evaluating that strategy? Fantastic. And Shandor, lovely stuff. Shandor's got a great water filtration business, guys. If you need water filters and whatnot, reach out to Shandor. He's also listed on SA Servsky. And so go check out what he's doing there. Clean water for everybody. Shandor, thanks for the support there. Looking good, guys. Awesome. All right, let's dive in. And the good news is we are 5 minutes ahead of schedule. So we're definitely going to hopefully come in underneath this 60 minutes. So looking good. All right. So we're going to unpack the freedom marketing method a little bit more. I want you to think of this as a roadmap. And the idea here is, where are you on this roadmap? And that's going to determine what you do next. The way to get from here to Pretoria, or if someone's watching from Pretoria, from Pretoria back to Cape Town, is to start a journey. And if you're already at Bloemfontein, you're halfway there. No point driving back to Pretoria to start again. So where are you on this journey? And it's time to start diagnosing where you are and what you should be doing next. Now, in my experience, almost every business I speak to is stuck in the clarity phase. Even if they're further ahead, we need to pull back to that. If you are through the clarity phase and you're crystal clear on what you're doing, fantastic, fantastic. You're in a rare minority and you're perfectly poised to grow a fantastic business. But let's break down this clarity phase a little bit more. So the first step in this phase, and there's 3 steps to every phase here, is to have a perfect vision. So I'm going to go through this quickly because I've mentioned it already, but that is a perfect vision about your business. How do you want your business to be? In fact, more importantly, let me pull back. What lifestyle do you want? Let me give you a real example. Often when I ask this question, I get kind of the knee-jerk response saying, I want to run my business from a beach in Mauritius. Hopefully not the beach that's covered in oil at the moment. Absolute tragedy going on in Mauritius right now. But I want to be on a beach in Mauritius, and I want to be able to run my business from my laptop. Fantastic goal. Nothing wrong with it, nothing right with it. It's just your goal, amazing. But if you've built a business where you are the center of that business, how are you ever going to extract yourself in order to go run it from the business, from the beach? If you are the plumber that has to go fit the pipes, if you are the IT expert that's building the websites, if you are the person who's driving the truck, there's a disconnect between where you want to be and what you want from your business in terms of your lifestyle and how you've built your business. And this really starts by getting those two to line up. If you want to work from the beach in Mauritius, you need to grow a team. You need to remove yourself. You need to pass your skills to someone else. Now, I'm not saying that's what you need to be doing and working on Mauritius. If you want to stay front and center and run your business and be hands-on and that's your goal, that's fine. But just make sure you build your business to support that outcome that you're after. You are the boss. You get to decide what your business looks like. So figure out what it is. How often do you want to go to work? What car do you want to drive? How many hours a day do you want to spend at work? What type of work do you want to be doing? And get those things to line up. What is your perfect vision for yourself, your business? The Get Shit training that I spoke about earlier speaks to this directly. So if you're curious about that, definitely sign up for the Get Shit training program. The next step is your perfect avatar. For those that don't know, an avatar is a representation. We can change that to your perfect customer, your ideal customer, your target audience. All means the same thing. Who is it you're serving? I can't tell you how often I'll ask a client, so who's your audience? And they'll answer me by saying, anyone who wants my product, or everyone who drives a car. Those are absolute killer words. If you're answering the question about who is your perfect audience with the words anyone or everyone, you're in trouble. Now, Shandor, I've given you a shout out on your water filtration business. I also have a water filtration business, by the way. And therefore, my target market with that business is anyone who drinks water. Now, that's a problem. I do not have the budget. I do not have the means to advertise to everybody. How do I put an ad together with wording that is going to appeal to everybody? I can't. I need to choose an audience. And this particular one, I'm looking at single moms who rent their homes. That's my target audience for my water filtration business. Very, very specific. But single moms have got a unique challenge. Time is short. They don't want to spend time fiddling with tools. Money might be tight. There are some assumptions that you make that may not be true. But the point being is I can really tailor my message and where I present that message to suit that perfect avatar. I know their problem. I know where they hang out. I can get laser focused on my service. So here's an interesting concept. So I'm actually purposefully shifting my business from working with the broader community to working with competitive, active sports people. That's what I am. That's what you guys are. So my niche, providing marketing services, is to provide marketing services to competitive sports people, in particular paddlers who own or run a business. I've got a narrowed niche. And lo and behold, I'm able to pull a webinar together like this, where I can talk to you guys rather than a webinar to anyone who might want marketing services. And I'm probably, although it's a massive pool, I'm going to get no one onto that webinar because I'm not speaking a specific language that appeals just to them. So get your perfect avatar. Who is it that you want to serve? What problem do they have? And how are you uniquely positioned to solve that problem? The final step in the clarity section is the perfect offer. Now, it seems counterintuitive. You kind of should have what you sell up front, right? You come up with a business idea. You go, hey, I'm going to sell, thermos coffee mugs. And because surely people want to keep their coffee hot. By the way, if anyone, this is the West Coast Express race. They gave this coffee cup mug out. Best thing I ever got in a goodie bag. I use it every single day. But if you... I've lost my train of thought. The perfect offer is about looking at your avatar and then looking at your business and going, what problem do they have? How do they solve it? How can I help them solve it? And then repackaging. Guys, if this kicks in at a level 2 understanding, if this can be a game changer for you, look at your business as it is now. Look at the services you're providing right now and think about how can you repackage that? How can you slice and dice and remold it, give it a different name, so that it suits your perfect avatar precisely. Let me give you a real example of a client I worked with about 3 months ago, architects, based out of Durban, North Natal architects, and they were having a struggle landing clients, and the economy is tight, and what was happening is people were getting overwhelmed with having to commit to a massive architectural project. It's a huge commitment. There's so many factors in it. It was a big, massive project, and they just weren't getting people through the door. So what we did is we try to figure out what is the first problem. What is the starting point for clients when they reach out to an architect? What is their first problem they want solved? And what we came up with is people have got a vision in their head. They're reaching out to an architect because they've got this house in their head and they want to get it out of their head and get it onto paper and be able to experience and look that house and see if their dream can actually be a reality, that it actually makes sense, that the corridors and the ergonomics and the layout and the flow and everything's going to make sense. So we put together a program called rapid visualization, and all these architects now sell is rapid visualization. Within 1 week, they will do 3D modeling and help clients get a digital walk-through vision. They can literally walk through their house digitally and experience their house before they put a brick down, before they get a plan made. And this is working really well from them. They've productized their big service and pulled it into something that makes sense for their perfect avatar. Now, a little side note on that is once they've done that, those people are in love. They love this concept. Do you think they're going to go to the next level with the same architect and say, hey, draw up some plans for me? That's fantastic. Put that next section as a finite product. In order to put basic plans together, it's this price. To do the rapid visualization, it's this price. We're not looking at an open-ended, massive, large, overwhelming commitments around architectural services on a build. That's having some resistance for people signing on to such a big thing. So think about your offer. How can you break it down into a product ladder where people buy this, then they buy that, and then they buy the next thing? By the way, they don't have to buy it with money. They can buy it with their email address. They can buy it with their time. You guys are on this webinar. You've paid for the value I'm hopefully providing you with your time today. So it's not all about money changing hands. Guys, making sense? Clarity, clarity, clarity. Absolutely fantastic. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if that's making sense. What is your business? Is it giving you what you want? Who you're serving? What is their problem? And how can you tailor your service to suit that avatar as much as possible? We're not talking about marketing and adverts and catchphrases and captivating one-liners and all of that stuff. We're just talking concepts here. But you can see how easy those deliverables, those strategies start to become if we know who we're talking to and we know what language to use. All right. Fantastic. Let's move on. So this is a roadmap. And I'm willing to bet most of you guys are here at the start of this roadmap. Get your perfect vision sorted out. But let's move up into strategy. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're doing okay. So now we're in the strategy phase. Now it's execution. So if we were preparing for a race, this is now when we go and train. All right, this is now when we go and start putting the blades in the water and doing the work. So in the strategy phase, if you're going to sell to people, you need people who you're going to sell to. You need an audience. You need to attract people to you. You need to get people who are willing to listen to what you've got to say, who are going to read your emails, who are going to walk into your shop. You need an audience. You need a method of attracting your perfect avatar to you. What is that you're doing at the moment? Now, what most of us do is we go out and we propose marriage on the first date. We meet someone, we shake hands, we exchange business cards, and we pitch. We sell our service. We're proposing marriage on the first date. Now, if you propose marriage to enough people, you'll get a sale. That's why telemarketing exists. Hit the numbers, dialing for dollars, you'll get the results. But it's hell of an exhausting. It's cold calling. It works. It really does work, actually, guys. But no one likes doing it. So rather attract an audience to you that already knows and likes you. By the way, guys, can you see how the community within paddling starts to work here? You've already got an audience in the community. You're already known within the community. They already know you. Hopefully they like you. It's a lot easier to attract people to you within your own tribe, the power of the community. So what are you doing to attract people to you? That's the question you need to ask yourself in your strategy. And you need to attract a lot of people to you because naturally people will drop off. Not everyone's going to be a customer. The next step is once you've attracted people to you, let me pull back a little bit. How do you attract people to you is a good question we need to answer here. And that is networking. Within the community, inviting, bringing a customer to someone else so they bring a customer back to you. Chatting in the car park. You can run adverts, Facebook ads, Google ads, all these kinds of things. You can put an ad in the newspaper. Where you put your ad and what you say and how you attract those people is going to be taken directly from your perfect avatar and what their problem is and where they hang out. So I got you guys on the webinar because you're on my mailing list. You hang out in surf ski places, you hang out in canoeing places. So that's why I put the advert and that's why you guys are here. So it's a prime example of how this is working. So that's how you attract, that's how you get people to know you exist. The next phase is to get them to trust you, to convert from going, all right, I know you're there. I want to know a little bit more about what you're doing. So the trust building phase, and by the way, has the penny dropped yet, guys, as to where I am in my journey with you, what I'm doing with this webinar? I am in the attract and the trust phase. I am showing you, hopefully, that I know what I'm talking about, and hopefully I'm building trust with you. And I'm building my community. I'm building trust. And what's in it for me? Why am I doing this webinar? Why am I giving away free stuff? Well, I am really powerfully driven by the sense of community. I really love my paddling community. You guys are fantastic. Some of pretty much all my best friends come out of this group. So enough touchy-feely. But the other side is this community, when you are ready, when you need marketing services, you probably, hopefully, are going to come to me. I'm not selling you now. But if you know I exist, hopefully you trust me. And when you're ready, and you're going to hopefully seek my services out. So this is a long-term game. And I encourage you guys to be active and strategic in your thinking about what are you doing to attract people to your space and to get them to trust you. And how do you get someone to trust you? Offer value. Value, value, value. Give, 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 give. And they will naturally themselves realize you're an expert in your product, and then they will seek a solution from you. They will come to you. But it's all about talking the right language to the right person, the perfect avatar, to get them to resonate with you. So that's the trust building phase. This is also called a marketing funnel, by the way, guys. You draw people in and then slowly, through a series of micro conversions, get them to commit to you. Now, if some of you guys are not tech and you may be getting overwhelmed going, this is not for me. You could be selling lemonade at a lemonade stand on the corner, and this would work. You want thirsty people in your neighborhood. How are you going to get them to know that they must come out of their houses? How are you going to get them over to your desk? How are you going to get them to buy more, give them a free little sample where they can taste it? And that's going to be the trust factor. This works no matter where you are. Multi-million-dollar corporate or a lemonade stand with your kids in your neighborhood. The next phase seems obvious, but so many people get it wrong. That's the close phase. If you've done the attract and the trust correctly, people will naturally close themselves. They will come to you and say, I want to work with you. I like what you're doing. I want that thing. I want this. I want that. They'll close themselves. But often we're so scared of the close because that's the point of rejection. And we're naturally scared of rejection. So we don't ask for the sale. We don't ask for the close. There is that saying, always be closing. I don't agree with it because people will close themselves. But what you do need to do is have your radar up, your antennas up, your ears open for buying signals that someone is ready to buy. And when they're ready to buy, stop building trust and give them what they need and be ready to give them what they need. An onboarding experience, someone signs up, make that experience fantastic. Have the invoice ready. Have the credit card machine right there. If they're signing up for a service, have the steps that they go through laid out. Make them feel like, damn, I wish I'd signed up earlier. This is amazing. Don't be like so many men are. We're at our best in the dating game. The moment we get married, we start leaving our socks lying around. You want to take a woman's approach, and sorry if I'm being sexist here, I don't mean to be, where women are a bit more cagey and they're like, is this my guy? But once they're committed to the guy and married, that's when we get the best of the ladies. They really invest. And that's what closing is all about, because it speaks directly to the referrals, which we'll come to shortly. So be ready to close, know how to close, have things ready. All right, now we're going to move into the quality section. I've got 7 minutes left, guys. Timing is going well. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because most of you will not be ready for this phase at this point in time, and I've spoken about it already. And in the quality phase is where we take the strategy. In the strategy phase, we may have tried different means of attraction. We might have tried different means of building trust. I'm using a webinar to build trust. I'm going to support that with tons of content to you guys and emails and so forth. It's not going to be spam because it's going to be valuable to grow your business. It's going to be valuable to improve your business. I don't want to waste your time because then you're wasting mine. So that's how I'm building trust. But I'm going to get more traction with certain topics and less traction with others. I'm going to keep testing. What's my feather angle? What paddle should I be using? What goo works for me? What training technique? What partners? Test. Then we move into the quality section. We take what works and we amplify it. If I'm spending 10,000 Rand a month on Facebook ads, please don't get freaked out by those numbers. I'm using it as an example. If I'm spending 2 Rand on Facebook ads, or I'm putting flyers around my neighborhood and I'm getting results from that. If I'm putting 1,000 flyers out and I'm getting great results, doesn't it stand to reason if I put 50,000 flyers out, I'd get much more results? By the way, I've never seen flyers work. Bad example. But the point being is recognize what works, pour rocket fuel on it, and amplify the hell out of it. But unless you're aware and you've got your antenna up and you're recognizing what's working, you're going to be spraying and praying and guessing. And in this game where we don't have much money to flow around, we can't afford to be guessing. We need to be strategic about these things. The next thing is we need to optimize. My paddling analogy that I did earlier, when we've got the paddle in the water and everything's lined up, the leg is locked, we are ready to engage that paddle in the water and give it as powerful a stroke as we can. Everything is about that 30 centimeter catch and pull to drive the boat forward. In marketing terms, what is that? How do I line up all my resources, all my money, all my effort, all my expertise, everything behind that sweet spot that's going to give me the maximum return? That's what we mean by optimizing. So I'm not going to dive too much detail there because that is very, very unique to everybody's set of circumstances. But it is, for example, if I'm doing a Facebook ad and I'm targeting a large audience, I might look at that audience and say, wow, I'm getting the most traction from my ads from age groups 35 to 40. So I'm actually getting some sales from a younger group and some sales from an older group. But you know what? If I take all my money and just service that age group, I'm going to get a deeper penetration into that age group and get a better result. So I'm optimizing. I'm getting lean and mean and focused. I hope that makes sense. The next phase, though, is the holy grail as we start to wrap this up, is to socialize. Now, this is the end of our roadmap, but the socialize component can actually fit in anywhere. But the socialize component is the referral game. This is when we turn our happy customers, and this is the holy grail. This is what we ideally want, is when our customers are paying us to market our business, and our raving fans are going, you've got to work with Robin. He's amazing. You've got to work with Skippers. He's the best engineer I've ever come across the place. You've got to work with Rob Moody. You want an exhibition stand that's going to blow your socks off? Exhibit is the way to go. You need to have people that love you and give them the means and the methods and the tools to go out and find customers for you. Now, there's a lot of training and things we can do around those. And actually, on that note, guys, I'm launching a new product. This is that little secret bonus I was talking about. It's called Review Genius. I'm looking for 3 companies to test this with. I'm not selling. This is not on the market at the moment. I'm looking for 3 companies to test this procedure with. So if you're a business that's currently selling, you've got a nice steady stream of customers, you're selling a relatively high ticket item, and you're also a bit of a relationship involved in selling that. You're not a greengrocer who's selling apples. There's a bit more of engagement. I want to work with you. So I'll come to that in a moment. I'm looking for 3 companies, and we're looking to really kickstart this socialize component. But how this ties together is that if you have attracted someone, built trust with them, closed them and onboarded in a way that just blown their socks off, and then obviously delivered the service, solved their problem to the point, and then shown them exactly how to bring you more customers and the type of customers that you want, and pointed them at Facebook reviews, at Google reviews, at reviews on your website, you've got rocket fuel on your hands. The deciding point in marketing, if I'm deciding to buy this coffee cup, or I don't have another coffee cup, but this coffee cup or another coffee cup, I'm going to look at the reviews and go, which one is weighted better? What if other people think about it? You know what a fantastic example is? And I'm speaking to the guys here, and maybe actually the girls as well, who recognize this. Walk into a pub, a bar, a nightclub with a whole bunch of guys, and we're trying to meet someone. I don't know about you, but for me, 9 times out of 10, I'd strike out. But if I go into that bar and I'm surrounded by, I've gone out with a group which is mixed and there's a couple of girls in my group, I'm more likely to meet someone because I'm given the stamp of approval by someone that my target avatar relates to. So in reviews, it's the same thing. I want this coffee cup. Someone else who's just like me says this coffee cup is better than this coffee cup. It's going to sway you over. So what are you doing to get that amazingly powerful tool onto your websites, onto your Facebook pages, onto your Google reviews, onto everywhere else, onto Amazon, where people can be pushed over the line, as it were, by socializing. Now, if you get that right, you almost don't need to do any other marketing. So that's why it's at the end of the marketing roadmap, but it can fit in anywhere. So, but if you're keen to work with me on that, we'll talk about that shortly. Guys, we're coming up to almost pretty much done. I literally have 20 seconds long. I think I'm going to be a minute over. I just want to run through a couple more things, one more slide, and then we're done. And I will be sticking around for some questions. So by no means is it, are we over? But so hang around, I'll ask some questions. But the crux of what we're speaking about is over, except for those bonuses. If you stuck around to the end, this is what I'm talking about. Congratulations, you made it to the end. A massive thank you from me for trusting me with your time. I hope I've given you some value. I want to just quickly recap, overview, get clear on your business, get clear on who you're serving, get clear on how you construct your business to really solve the problem that they've got. Then attract people to you. But don't try and sell anything. Just attract, build an audience. Build trust with that audience by offering value, offering value, offering value. Don't be selling. When they are ready, they'll come to you and say, I'm ready to buy right now. They will snoop on your website. They will look around. They will find your services, and they will be ready to buy. Once you have a method that's working to make that work, then crank that method up, make it really, really powerful, and make sure your happy customers are empowered to bring you more customers. So this is the wrap up. Bonuses, guys. What I want from you in the comments, if you can't comment, you can ping me on WhatsApp, you can send me an email, but if you would like me to do a personal review of what's next, just comment with the word diagnosis. My member of my team will reach out with you. Put the word diagnosis in the comments or via WhatsApp or whatnot. Just make sure we can identify you. Put the word diagnosis in. We will send you a little form you can fill out, and we will give you an idea of what you need to do next. I am not pitching. There will be no pitch in this. I am not selling anything. I purely want to help you to the next level. So do not be intimidated by putting that in. You will not be sold to. If you want help evaluating where you are and where you should go next, comment diagnosis. If you want an invite to my GSD training, get shit done. This is amazing. This is an incredible tool. I'm really proud of it. Comment GSD. Put those in the comments, WhatsApp, email to me, whatever it is, and I'll unlock that training for you. If you'd like to be part of the review process, I'm looking for just 3 companies. Comment Review Genius, we're trialing that name, and put that in the comments, email, WhatsApp, whatever it is to me. And if you'd like me to walk you through how I made 100,000 Rand in 3 days, I think it was, or 4 days, for a company and a test case on how we did that, then comment funnel. Put the word funnel, and I'll invite you to the 100,000K marketing funnel training. This is not live. This is training you can go through in your own time. It's, I think, only one video. It's 20 minutes long. It's short. It's not a lot you've got to digest, and it's pretty powerful stuff. So just ping that in the comments if you guys want to access any of those, and we'll hook you up. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I really hope that was of value, and I'm going to stick around, ask some questions, and we'll see if anything comes through. So if I'm not getting any questions, it means I've either bamboozled you completely, or I was so amazing at telling you how this all works that I've answered every question that I've got. So one thing I want to mention to you guys, for those of you that are sticking around, is, of course, there's layers of complexity behind this. And just like starting to paddle, in the beginning stages, it was all you could do to sit in a boat without falling out. To comprehend going down the Umco, to comprehend doing Cape Point Challenge, to comprehend paddling across the ocean, Ocean X, Richard Kohler, paddling a surf ski across the ocean, is just unfathomable. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed by that. It starts by just seeing the big picture, understanding where you are in the process, and just figuring out what that next step should be. Now, I can definitely help you figure out those next steps, and reach out if I can do that for you. But don't be overwhelmed by this process. Some of you, as just starting out, you've just got an idea. You don't know if it's, you're just trying to put a website together. You've got nowhere to start. That's fine. Start with getting clear about your business, what you want it to do, where you want to be in your future, and who you serve. What problem do you solve? For me, those are the two most important questions. Who do you serve? What problem do you solve? Get those two lined up. What race am I doing? What result do I want? Everything else starts to fall into place. Fantastic. GSG, lots of people want to get shit done. Fantastic. And thanks up, Terence. Terence, thanks for your support. Terence, always supporting everything paddling. You're a legend, Terence. Terence runs the Paddle Mag. Graham, thanks so much. Skippers, thank you so much. Maria, fantastic. Thanks for the kind word, guys. Now, if you want to stick around and you want to hear me do this again, it will be a repeat, but because this is live, it won't be the same. I'm doing it again at 2 o'clock this afternoon. If you want to just have a second stab at this, if you can't get enough of my voice that's ideally suited for a mime, come around 2 o'clock, same place, same time. We're doing it all again. But this is the start of something new, guys. There'll be lots of opportunity for us to interact and learn from one another. Head over to SA Surfski. List your business, and share, guys. Get this community going. Let's get this community going. All right, so don't seem to have any questions coming through. So I'm going to sign off, guys, and get on with the rest of my day. So some text messages coming from you guys as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some of you, hopefully I'll catch you again at 2 o'clock. And there will be a replay of this available on the Facebook page as well. And we'll catch you later. Guys, thank you very much. Catch you on the water. Look out for my mails in your inbox. Wrapping it up. See you later.